it was a pretty dominant performance from Manchester United, really, with shots on target, for example. They bossed it, really. How do you view Man United right now, Dean?
Well, Cass, you like a bet. I think now Man United are on the right track. I think Man United are going to take off as a club. If you had a fiver on Man United for every game this season till the end, you'd come out winning money, I think. I look at the players. They had 15 players at the World Cup, more than anybody else. The manager has got rid of a lot of players, which is what was needed when Ollie took over. 4 years ago, they should have started getting rid of players. There's no longer Pogba, there's no Matic, there's no Mata. He's got
Ronaldo, obviously.
Ronaldo's gone. He's got the team now. You've got Martinez and Varane in the heart of the defence. So there's no Lindelof and no Maguire. He signed Malacia to play instead of Luke Shaw. He signed Dalot. Well, he didn't sign Dalot, but Dalot's been playing instead of Wan-Bissaka. The midfield's changed. He's no longer Fred and McTominay. He's got Eriksen and Casemiro. Totally different class of player and different class of attitude.
And
Say
different
attitude.
Technically as well.
Technically.
Yeah.
Fred and McTominay, don't get me wrong, they're good players, but they're not great players. Casemiro and Eriksen are great players. Fernandes looks better playing with them too. The back four coming out with the ball, it's easier to find them too. And he's got Anthony in on the right, so he's more or less changed nearly the whole team since he's been there. And that's the reason why Man United are going the right direction. That's why Rashford's playing better. There's better players in the team. They've eventually, it's took them 4 years, but they've eventually got rid of players they should have got rid of 4 years ago.
They are 3 points off fourth spot. It's currently Spurs who are in that fourth place, but they have played one game fewer, Manchester United. What's going to be the difference for them to make the top four, and what do they need to then kick on, as in personnel-wise?
Well, if Rashford keeps playing like he's playing at the minute, that he can stay in the team. If Anthony plays like his potential, but I'm still not convinced of whether his mind's in the right place, Anthony.
What about Martial?
Martial, out. He's been there long enough, never done anything. Flop. Martial. He's not on his own. There's a load of them that have come into Man United for lots of money
You'd say
and
flop.
failed. Yeah,
Okay.
not good enough. He's been there long enough. Rashford's been there long enough. I mean, he was on his last legs and he started producing. You got to produce the goods. In your position, you talk about tactics and everything, but players have got their own responsibility to look in the mirror and say, am I doing my job? What have they brought me here for? And am I doing it? If you ask Martial, have you done your job since you've been there? No.
Okay,
so they need a striker for me down the middle.
Yeah, they do. So obviously you just touched on, you've done management, Dino. How would you look at Sancho? Because obviously since he's come from Dortmund, he's been really disappointing. I'm not sure he's not produced. Right, his job for me is to go past people and cross the ball into the box and score 10, 15 goals, as well as make goals for other people. Which he sort of did at Dortmund.
Yeah. So when we're up against it and we're playing teams who are better than us or as good as us, do your job, shift, help the fullback. So in certain games you've got to help the fullback and get back. So we win 1-0 and we can win not playing that well. But when we're playing against teams that we're better than, cross the ball into the box, beat the fullback and get on the end of crosses and score goals and keep the ball when it comes to you. So far, he's not done it. Now, I don't know what's wrong with him. He's been sent to Holland to train with a couple of coaches, whether it's he's got a mental problem or whether it's a fitness problem.
That's what Erik Ten Hag has said. He said it's a combination of physically and mentally that he's not quite ready. Yeah,
well, if you get 150 grand a week, there's a price on the ticket. You don't get money for nothing. There's a price on the ticket. If you don't produce, it's not long before the finger's getting pointed at you. You can get away with it, a mid-table team. But when you're playing against a team that's got expected to win things, and you're getting paid a fortune, and they've paid a lot of money for you, you ain't got long. 10 games. If you're not producing...
That's big clubs.
Yeah, you've got to produce. And if you can't do it, if mentally you're not strong enough to do it, move on.
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.